ladies and gentlemen. Today I will be reviewing Darlings. Darlings is a black comedy drama co-written and directed by Jasmine K. Rin. So, Darlings. This is a film that I saw on Netflix. And Netflix, the track record they've been having lately hasn't been the best. Not gonna lie, they've been pulling out some shitters of recent times. So, Darlings. Let's start off with the performances. We got the main girl, who's a wife of this husband. Started off pretty nice, the relationship, but with time goes on, the husband starts being more violent towards her. Shit gets worse and worse and worse until she needs to act up. And she did a good job. I liked her. I liked the character, and she did pretty good. You really do feel for the character. She's literally dealing with a very abusive husband and a very abusive relationship, and you're like, damn, shit. Why do you have yourself get into this, and worse, still stay with him? But it's understandable. Like, everybody goes through this all the time. Not everybody goes through this, but there's people that go through this kind of treatment, and they feel like this is what they get, and they need to understand, like, you have a lot of self-worth and you should move on with life. And that's my opinion of it, though. But she did a good job. I like her character. The husband, though, straight douche. He gives out evil villain type of a performance. He's like a back and forth. He's trying to smooth her out and then becomes a raging. And yeah, he did a good job of hating the character. I think he did a pretty good job as that character. And them two together work very well. The chemistry between them, and not in a good way. Not like, oh, in a loving chemistry. We're talking just genuine chemistry when it comes to actor and actress. Not that loving type. Just straight up like, oh, like the situation type of shit that's going on here. And all around, I thought the performances were pretty good by everybody. The mother, I think. The mother, she's good. I like her character. I like what she does throughout the movie, and she is that character where telling her, like, hey, yo, you gotta get out of here. This ain't good. You gotta get out of here. She did a good job. And yeah, all around performances were pretty good. The direction was interesting. It's, like I said, it's a very dark comedy. We're dealing with, like, toxic, just abusive relationship, and then with the humor type. I mean, when it deals with that, it's dramatic, but there's good humor to it, and you're like, okay, I like it. I thought the direction was pretty good by the director, first feature film, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and the writing is good. I'd say the writing is good. The dialogue works pretty well in this film. I thought the dialogue is pretty good. And all around, I had a good time with this movie. I'm not used to the Bollywood type movies. This is my, I've seen it before, but not talking about it. I've seen, like, a Bollywood movie before, but I never really had the chance to talk about it. It's a very interesting style. That's all I gotta say. It's very different from what you get from, like, normal Hollywood movies. Bollywood type movies are very interesting. They're different from most films. Some people might like it, some people might not. I don't mind it. I can dig it. I can dig the feel of it. And I like it. I like the humor and the style of it all, and it's pretty good. I had a good time with the movie. The editing is good. The editing is pretty good. Music, for some reason, that's one thing I didn't like, is the music in this film, because it just felt like when things get dramatic, it has this, like, music. Not memorable, just the music of just, like, straight Telemundo type music. Something dramatic happens, the music cue starts to go in. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't like it. I like the song, though. The song that's in the opening and at the end of the film, the Darling song. I dig it. I enjoyed it. It definitely sets the mood for the movie. And the way the movie opens, you're like, oh, this is going to be that type of love movie, romance, and it hits you, and it surprises you. You're like, oh, shit, it's not that kind of movie. You think it's one movie, like, I swear, when you see, if you've never seen the trailer, you see the opening, you think, oh, it's going to be this kind of movie, and then it just slaps you out of it, like, oh, it's not that kind of movie. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. One thing I was like dreading, but thankfully they didn't do, was like, oh, trying to humanize this kind of person. I'm like, don't humanize this fucking dude, but he's a straight up douche. He's a dick, and like, there's no humanizing an abuser, in my opinion. You can't humanize that. If you start abusing a woman in general, the respect and things like that, it's like, can't roll with that. You can't really humanize a human being like that. But all around, had a good time with the movie. It's a fun time. It's not boring. The first half is kind of like slow, because you're like, okay, we're getting into it. It takes a while for me to be like, okay, I'm interested. But it does get interesting. And by the end, you're like, oh my god, the scenario that occurs is just great. It's a really interesting scenario and how they deal with it. So, yeah, I had a good time with this movie. I'll give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. I had a good time with the movie. I didn't hate it. I had a good time with the movie. It was fun. Had some good humor to it, that dark type of humor. I always love that. And all around, I had a fun time. So yeah, that is my review for the movie Darlings. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.